book on what this was likely based on and how it doesn't match up to what Meghan said. Here's the clip, SOT 6, from the Oprah interview.
In those months when I...
Picture this. Meghan Markle sitting in her California mansion, believing she has every headline under control. Netflix documentaries, Oprah's garden tell-all, carefully polished interviews dripping with sympathy. For years, Meghan mastered the art of turning pain into power, narrative into empire, but suddenly, bang! A new defamation ruling in the UK just flipped the script, and this time Meghan isn't holding the pen. This isn't a minor tabloid squabble anymore. This ruling has turned her every word, every dramatic pause, every accusation into something far more dangerous, a weapon that could be fired back at her in court. And trust me, the warning didn't come from some gossip rag. It came from none other than royal biographer Tom Bower, a man who has spent years dissecting Meghan's rise and messy trail of destruction. His message? Crystal clear. Meghan Markle should be very, very afraid. Tom Bower, known for his no-nonsense deep dives into royal scandals, didn't sugarcoat it when he spoke on national television. He practically shouted it between the lines. This ruling could unleash absolute chaos for Meghan Markle.
Pregnant, all around this same time. So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title.
And here's why. It holds high-profile figures accountable for their public words. No more hiding behind glossy documentaries or My Truth interviews. No more crying to Oprah and walking away unchallenged. If Meghan claims she was silenced, bullied, or pushed out, those very words could now be dissected in a courtroom, examined like evidence in a crime. Imagine judges pulling apart every phrase, every detail, deciding whether Meghan twisted the truth for sympathy. For a woman who built her empire on controlling the narrative, this is nothing short of a nightmare. And let's not forget the infamous night in March 2021, the Oprah interview, sold as a raw, explosive, truth-telling moment. Meghan glowing under fairy lights, Harry by her side, the world watching. But underneath the glamour, critics immediately spotted something troubling: contradictions.
And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
And
remember her dramatic claim that little Archie was denied a royal title because of race? That collapsed the second constitutional experts spoke up. The truth? Archie, as the great-grandchild of the Queen at the time, wasn't entitled to a prince title. No conspiracy, no racism, just rules, plain and simple. And then Meghan's tearful confession that she was silenced, cut off from friends, stripped of her passport, basically a prisoner inside the palace. But reality didn't line up. Flight records showed she jetted across the globe multiple times during her so-called captivity. Captivity? Please. Now, under this new legal spotlight, those aren't just harmless inconsistencies.
Who is having that conversation with you? What?
They could legally be rebranded as false accusations, defamation at the highest level. Think about that for a second. Meghan's most dramatic truths could now be unmasked as lies in court, and that's just the beginning. Fast forward to 2022, Meghan and Harry's shiny $100 million Netflix deal. Their docuseries was hyped as raw, intimate, emotional. But instead of sympathy, it got shredded by historians and journalists. Misleading footage, dramatized edits, paparazzi clips stolen from other celebrities, all repackaged to make Meghan look like the ultimate victim.
so,
There is a conversation. Hold up.
there's
Stop
several
right now.
there's several conversations.
There's a
about it.
conversation.
Even her allies started whispering, if you have to fake footage, maybe the story itself is weak. And here's the kicker. In a courtroom, this isn't dismissed as creative editing. It's evidence. It's proof of intent to mislead. Netflix may have signed up for drama, but what they might end up with is a front row seat to a defamation trial. And then there's Spare, Harry's memoir, a 400-page tantrum disguised as a diary. But let's be honest, Meghan's fingerprints are all over it. Insiders whispered she pushed him to include the juiciest, most explosive claims: cruelty, betrayals, family vendettas. But here's the problem. So many of those claims crumbled the second they were fact-checked. Harry accused Camilla of planting stories, but reporters swore those sources never existed. He painted William as violent, yet conveniently skipped over context that softened the blow. And now lawyers could turn around and ask, was Meghan the puppet master here? Was Spare just another chapter in Meghan's truth machine? If the book is linked back to her, then the lies inside could legally drag her name through fire. What was once branded their truth might soon be exposed as their lies. But the biggest blow? It's coming from inside Meghan's own family. Enter Samantha Markle, Meghan's half-sister. Meghan dismissed her existence during Oprah, claiming she grew up as an only child. To millions of viewers, Samantha was erased like she never existed, a desperate, fame-hungry outsider. But Samantha wasn't about to let her entire identity be tossed in the trash. She fought back with a defamation case. And now, with this new ruling, Samantha's chances just skyrocketed. Imagine the scene. Meghan being cross-examined about her own childhood, her own family, by her own family. No edits, no spin, just hard questions and harder truths. And Tom Bauer sums it up best. Meghan is cornered. The glossy headlines she once used to build her brand, they're boomeranging back as evidence against her. And this is only the first half of the storm, because coming up, the next round is even deadlier. We're talking about Thomas Markle's testimony, Meghan's only child fabrication, Hollywood slamming its doors shut, the royal family's cold silence, and the potential collapse of the Meghan brand itself. Stay tuned, because if you thought Meghan's reputation was crumbling, what's coming next could obliterate it. Now, picture the courtroom again. This time, Meghan Markle isn't facing Samantha's lawyers. She's staring down her own father, Thomas Markle, a man she's vilified for years, dismissed in interviews, painted as a shameful stain on her perfect royal image. For years, Thomas has claimed Meghan cut him off, deliberately weaponized his image, and used him as a pawn to fuel her victim narrative. And now, thanks to this new ruling, his words might not stay confined to tabloid interviews. He could testify under oath. And here's Meghan's nightmare. Unlike a glossy Netflix edit, courtroom testimony cannot be rescripted. Every email, every text, every voicemail could be dragged into the light. The Meghan who sold the world a fairy tale escape could instead be exposed as the daughter who severed her own family ties in a ruthless climb to Hollywood power. And then we arrive at perhaps the most symbolic lie of all, the infamous "I grew up as an only child" claim. At first it sounded harmless, relatable even, but in reality, Meghan has siblings. She has a family. They've consistently challenged this only child fantasy she paraded before Oprah and millions watching worldwide. Why erase them? Critics say it was strategic. Being an only child creates an easy victim story. Isolated, misunderstood, craving belonging. It perfectly set the stage for her rescued by Harry narrative. But Samantha has documents, photos, witnesses, all pointing to one chilling conclusion. Meghan's story wasn't just spin. It was a verifiable lie broadcast to millions. And under this new legal precedent, that isn't just embarrassing, it's defamation. A lie that cuts Samantha down while elevating Meghan. If the courts agree, Meghan won't just lose face, she could lose millions. Cold, hard financial penalties could bleed directly into the fortune she and Harry thought they secured in California. But money might be the least of her worries, because the one place Meghan thought she had sanctuary, Hollywood, is slamming its doors shut. When she and Harry first touched down in Los Angeles, Hollywood couldn't get enough. Oprah welcomed them with open arms. Tyler Perry gave them his Beverly Hills mansion. Netflix showered them with a 9-figure deal. Meghan and Harry were the hottest ticket in town. But today, silence. Deafening silence. Oprah hasn't lifted a finger to defend her. The Obamas skipped her 40th birthday power summit. Even the Kardashians, yes, the Kardashians, who thrive on drama, have kept her at arm's length. Why? One word: liability. Hollywood knows how to play this game. The moment someone becomes legally vulnerable, they're radioactive. Attaching yourself to Meghan isn't glamorous anymore. It's risky. PR machines are whispering the same thing. Cut ties fast. And Meghan, once surrounded by allies, is now finding nothing but locked doors. And then there's the firm, the royal family. Since 2020, Meghan and Harry hurled accusations at the monarchy like confetti: racism, cruelty, indifference to mental health, words that rocked the institution. But how did the family respond? Not with lawsuits, not with interviews, not with public feuds, just one ice-cold line from the late queen. Recollections may vary. At the time, people accused the palace of being too silent, too passive. But in light of this ruling, that silence looks calculated. Insiders whisper the royals never needed to fight back. They knew Meghan's words would eventually turn on her. They knew her contradictions, her exaggerations would implode on their own. This is palace revenge in its purest form. Not loud, not messy, but devastatingly patient. They didn't need to bury Meghan, she's burying herself. And finally, we have to talk about the collapse of the Meghan Markle brand. Because make no mistake, Meghan isn't just a woman, she's a business. Podcasts, Netflix specials, fashion lines, charity projects, all of it rolled into Markle Incorporated. But what happens when the face of your brand is labeled unreliable? What happens when courts start dragging out receipts of contradictions, exaggerations, outright lies? Brands run, investors retreat. Streaming platforms downsize contracts. Netflix already has with the Sussexes. Even Archewell, their carefully packaged foundation, is is at risk of being branded toxic. Meghan built her empire on one thing, image. But here's the brutal truth. Image doesn't matter in a courtroom. Facts do. And if those facts don't match her truth, her empire won't crumble slowly. It will collapse catastrophically. So let's tally the wreckage. Tom Bower's chilling warning. Oprah interview contradictions under a legal spotlight. Netflix deception exposed. Harry's memoir fueling lawsuits. Samantha Markle's revived case. Thomas Markle's looming testimony. The only child fabrication unraveling. Hollywood allies vanishing. The royal family's ice-cold patience. And the Markle brand teetering on total collapse. This isn't just bad press. This is a reputational apocalypse. Meghan thought she could outwit the palace, outshine Hollywood, and outtalk the press. But the truth is catching up with her. And this time, the world isn't buying the victim act. The question isn't whether Meghan Markle will survive this defamation storm. The real question is, will there even be a Meghan Markle brand left to defend once the dust settles?